Hello and welcome to episode 120 of VocTerGaming. I am your host, the vocal terrorist, Jesse Rain, and we are here with our scheduled SC Forum Tuesday with not one, but two of our SC Forum heroes. First up, excuse me, in the blue as our Terran player, his name is Lethal. And spawning as the orange Protoss, ignore what his name says on the bar above because he does not want to be called that. In fact, today we shall be calling him Raebz. So, I'd like you all to bear with me throughout this next week. One of the things people have constantly commented on is that they want better graphical quality. So I'm going to be trying a few new things over the next couple of days to give us that higher graphical quality. I want to at least be hitting 720p. I'm hoping we can do it. Sadly, I can't give you the widescreen resolutions because I record using fraps and I can only use the resolution on my screen, and I don't have a widescreen monitor. There's just not enough room for it right now. So, unfortunately, things will have to be that way right now until I can get either a new desk or a widescreen monitor that fits and looks awesome. But so we're going to be trying stuff. I'm trying something today. I'm trying something else tomorrow. This is the supposedly easy way of doing it. Tomorrow I'm going to try the hard way. But hopefully, you know, it all works and we get some awesome updates in graphics. So we see Lethal building the 2-racks build. 12-12 in fact, not even 12-14. So really just cutting SCVs to get those barracks out as fast as possible. That's more a build you tend to see against Zerg, but never mind. It can put some good pressure on the Protoss, especially if he decides to skip that first Zealot. Or in fact, if he also chooses to expand. Will Raebz be skipping that Zealot? We will soon find out. It's going to hit 100 minerals. It looks like he is. It looks like he's not going to bother with that first Zealot. Going to go straight into Stalker production. What did you see, little probe? You only saw the one barrack. Oh dear. Reactor going down, in fact, on one of the barracks. And a tech lab on the other. So Lethal is really looking to hit up some bio pressure here. Having not made any SCVs past this 12 mark. Interesting. Now has an orbital command though, dropping mules and getting back into SCV production. So kickstart his economy. Lethal, meanwhile, is of course seeing everything that's going on here. The only thing he's not seen yet is that robo facility. Now would be a really good time to scout for that before any units get out of here. Oh, interesting. Raebz is in fact chrono boosting out warp gate and not even making a stalker yet. So this SCV right now can do whatever it likes. He sees the timing of that second gas, so he knows it's not a 4-gate build. He knows it's not a pressure thing. He can keep an eye out for this expansion if he so chooses. Back in the base, we see Lethal getting out Marauders and Marines, pretty standard. Still now back, keeping on top of that SCV production. That's nice to see. The Robo does finish, and we have an Immortal coming out, so this could be an Immortal rush. That SCV really needs to go and scout that. That would be really, really nice if he could do that. But right now he isn't. Concussive Shell is on the way. That's the upgrade for the Marauder that allows it to slow down units that it shoots. We still only have one gas from Lethal at this point, so it doesn't look like he's going to go into factory anytime soon. He's instead just going to keep up this Marine Marauder production. Now I have been informed that this game was played at about 3 AM. So given that the SC Forum replays are never the top kind of play, we could be seeing some hilarious things happen. Raebz is now going up to 3-gate, and look at this from Lethal. Should have used that earlier. Right now he still hasn't scouted the Robo. He doesn't know the Robo's there. He doesn't know Immortals are coming. Not that it should matter too much because he does have Marauders coming with this army. 3 Marauders. Concussive Shell is finished. He is rallying more and more units, avoiding those Onaga watchtowers nicely to avoid this push being scouted. Now there are no sentries out for Raebz, so this should do a ton of damage. These Immortals, at least one is going to go down. There goes one. Out comes the Zealots though, and this pressure is pretty much over. Nice start set from there from Lethal though. If he can pick off these zealots, that would be really nice. Does get one. Did kill one immortal, and that means he knows the immortal's out now. But we have sentries finishing, so we'll be able to force field that ramp indefinitely. Well, not right now because he only made one sentry, but still. Lethal is going home, having done some pressure, having seen the immortal. Right now would be a really nice expand timing for him. He did a bit of damage. He knows he should be safe. What I'd be doing right now is I'd throw a command center up and get a bunker here to just help against any pressure. Start getting stim. Instead he's getting combat shield. That's fine. Adding another barracks. Interestingly, going full bio right now. Is adding the second refinery. Will pick off this stalker if he's paying any attention. Like, it's right there, Lethal. It's right there and you could have killed it. But never mind. All his units are on stop. Interesting. Generally, before stim, you tend to put them on hold position to stop them in... yeah, what's the word? Kited. So stop them being kited by stalkers. Jesus, I just completely lost a word there for a minute. So we have Raebz expanding now, getting the Twilight Council up in the base. Presumably we have an engagement going on now though. The zealots coming in, doing some damage. This is why you wanted the bunker. It stops the zealots from being as effective. But he is going to kill them all, and now everything of Raebz should die. Because these are marauders and they kill every Protoss unit really, really well. Focusing down the units that aren't the immortals first though, and that's a really bad tactic. Because the immortal's the thing that kills your marauders. So instead, Raebz forces him to cancel his expansion and kills an SCV. So that was pretty nice. Bunker going up now in his main, way too late. That should have been at the expansion a few minutes ago, and in fact he immediately cancels it. Factory goes up. I should think starport to follow. I don't think he'll make use of this this factory. You often see players now, in fact, getting siege tanks sometimes against Protoss. In fact, we saw MMA do it very recently in the GSTL. That did not go so well for him. That was against FXO Choya. That was a fun game. Choya's brilliant. He's ridiculous, but I'd love watching him. Tech Lab, interestingly, going down on the factory. Are we going to see Ravens, perhaps? Interesting choice. You tend to get the reactor and go for double medevac production to allow you to switch into Viking production to follow up against Colossi. We have a forge going down quite late. At this point, I'd be expecting a double forge, if anything, from the Protoss, because they love to bang out those upgrades. We have charge on the way that's going to make them even better. We haven't finished starport. Yeah, it does look like this starport is going on this tech lab. Or not. Okay, I think Lethal built the wrong add-on. That is the only thing I can think of there. Is Lethal built the incorrect add-on. He meant to build a reactor, and in fact he built a tech lab. So he's going to throw a barracks down on that tech lab now. Oh dear, Lethal. We have an observer making sure that Lethal is not expanding. We have Templar Archives for High Templar coming out. And Protoss Ground Weapons level 1. I like the Templar Archives. What I'd like to see is Archons. Definitely get Storm as soon as you can. But I'd like to see Archons. Generally what you want to do is get your High Templar out, use all the Storms they've got, and then instantly morph them into Archons and melt the rest of the bio. Archons are so good, by the way. Now, does Lethal have a scan? He does, so he should be killing this observer if he's paying attention. It's not the easiest to spot. It depends on your graphics settings, funnily enough. The higher your graphics settings are, like mine are at Ultra right now, so the higher they are, the easier it is to spot invisible units. Like if we go here, like you can clearly see there the distortion of it, but at lower graphics settings that just does not happen. So, Raebz is going to see this drop coming. He knows exactly what is going on right now. He has a pylon here. By the way. Oh, Lethal, come on. We have Archons coming in, by the way. We have Terran infantry weapons and infantry armor level 1 on the way. We have 3 more gateways going down in the base of Raebz. SC Forum, by the way, I'd like to point out, has finally rebooted. It is now a very nice looking site. It's linked to the old Halo Reach forums that I know a lot of those guys used to be on. Not me, sadly. I'm new to the community, joined with the expansion to Starcraft 2. But it's really, really nice. We've got a brand new forum set up now, so we lost all the old posts, which is probably for the best because it means you don't have to see 6 million people arguing with Lonex. But you should definitely come check us out. That's at www.scforum.eu. Now, Lethal is going to come in here. Instantly see what he tries to do. He's going to go for the economy. He's going to go for these probes now. Stimming into the middle of them. He's going to kill these stalkers really, really quickly because he just has a ton of marauders. Oh, so many probes going down. Raebz is slow to react. Finally, the entire army gets back into the base. But these are going to escape. Oh, very, very nice there from Lethal. 17 workers killed. He's up to now. And we have Protoss ground armor level 1 on the way. We have an armory pretty much done. In fact, perfect near timing on that armory to allow him to start the +2/+2. So we have a very unusual situation in that the Terran is in fact going to be ahead on upgrades. I definitely heard the sound of something dying there. Did anyone else hear that? I looked at the minimap and there was no orange units near blue units. Very, very strange. It must have been a cancel. Or perhaps salvaging a bunker. Anyway, we have the SCVs being pulled for no good reason right now that I can see. Oh, in fact, it looks like Lethal's going to retreat and just sack that expansion. Interesting choice, not one I'd have gone for because obviously we see it's now supply blocked. He's going to lose even more supply depots. This was a nice attack by Raebz, but a very strange choice by Lethal to back up into the main. It's not even that, he's running away from the ramp, so it's not even going to be that defensible. These zealots now charge in, and it does a lot of damage. He could have done that damage earlier if he'd have pulled the SCVs, set them out in front to tank the damage. He could have killed this army a lot quicker. Very strange choices there by Lethal, because +2/+2 is still a way off yet, so it wasn't like he's waiting for them to finish the counter-attack. But it does look like Lethal's gonna hold this off. Lethal's stimming in again. All these SCVs being absolutely useless out the back. He should have put them at the front to enable them to tank the damage. But he is going to shut this down. Killing that pylon would be really nice. Instead he's going to allow the zealots to finish walking and kill them. And finally kill the pylon. Observer is still with the army. Lethal has still not spotted that. We finally have +2 attack on the way for Raebz. And look at that, Raebz now down to 45 food. So that was good moves by Lethal, but really, pulling back up here and sacking that expansion were just completely unnecessary moves. If he'd have just taken the SCVs he'd already pulled, put them out in front, and he could have easily held that off and been in a much more commanding position. Sonic Storm is on the way. Oh, and a Dark Shrine. Because, of course, when behind, go DTs. That is the Protoss mantra. If you are behind, just build DTs. Just build them. Never mind that he's got 2 engineering bays and he will have, again, 2 orbital commands. That doesn't matter. That's not a problem. Detection, nothing. This is what I'd like to see Terran start to get a Raven against Protoss, at least in the mid-game. Ravens are really good. In fact, just get Ravens. Get 1 or 2 Ravens. They're so good. They've got auto turret for harass. They've got PDD to help defend against stalkers. And they can see Dark Templar. Now again, Lethal stims in here. Only Zealots and 1 Archon to defend at the moment. So he's going to lose all of those Zealots. This Archon now is going to die very quickly. No probes lost as of yet, but he is losing a ton of units, and now some probes are going to die. He's not been keeping up on top of rebuilding the ones he lost earlier either. Oh, Sonic Storm goes down and then walks his own units into it. Excellent moves. Finally, these units are going to die. A few are saved. But now we see workers killed is 24 to 12. And if we take a look at the units tab, right now there are 25 probes, to 36 SCVs. And with mules as well, that means Lethal's economy is going to be spiralling out of control. But Raebz is going to counteract that somewhat by adding a base at the top left corner that he hopes will remain hidden. Back at home, Lethal is just rebuilding his army. He has a ton of gas and minerals right now. I would not mind seeing him expand again after that, just to make sure. I'd really like to see Terrans hit the third base somewhere between the 15 and 20 minute mark, because you are, well, he has completely mined this out, by the way. My timing tends to be around the 12-minute mark, but he's adding a missile turret at the front, I assume because of DTs. And we have this drop coming back in again. There are only 3 Marauders and 1 Marine left though, so not going to do too much damage. May have been worth going home with that and then picking up some fresh units. Would have liked to see him snipe the Dark Shrine there or the Forge. Either one of those would be really good. Going for pylons instead. This is strange there from Lethal, trying to kill probes that aren't there. And instead he's just going to lose some units now that he had no need of doing. Would have been really nice to snipe the Forge, the Dark Shrine, the Temple. There's so much nice stuff here you can kill. And once you've destroyed it, he has to spend money to remake it. Protoss Ground Armor level 2 is on the way now. These High Templar are scary, scary things to see for a Terran, because High Templar just destroy you. Between Sonic Storm and morphing into Archons, they are scary as feck. +3 is not yet underway for Lethal, so he is about to lose the upgrade advantage he once had, and I don't know why, because he's got 2 eBays and he's got a ton of money. But never mind, he's adding yet another barrack, so really, really sticking with this bio, which you pretty much have to do at this point, and you pretty much have to do against Protoss. Mech just does not work as well. Interesting that we've seen no Colossi from Raebz at all this game. Went from Robo into Templar, and that's a shame because Colossi are so good at melting the bio army. If you hit that combination, you can get the third base up, hit Colossi, Archons, High Templar, Terran is going to have a real tough time defending it. Finally a third base is going up for Lethal, but it may be too little too late. Raebz is coming in for another attack. He only has 1 Archon with this. Does have a DT, but the missile turret there does spot it. And finally the High Templar catch up. Oh, if he storms all those SCVs, look at those storms go down. Oh, SCV's transferring in fact. Oh, that's going to give away the game. So Raebz is going to know that a third base is out there. But all these units are dying, and now he's amongst the production facilities. And this is where it gets tough for Terran, because all your units pop out here. Meanwhile, we have a base trade going on because Lethal has just sidestepped Raebz' army and is taking down Raebz' main. So much going on right now. Medevac's trying to escape but getting taken down. We have Dark Templar with nothing to stop them. But Lethal's army is so huge. Or not huge, but strong. But here we have the DTs. They could be the game saver. Do we have a scan? We have a ton of scans. Scans need to be going down at this point, but Lethal is not focusing properly. There we go. Scan goes down. Both DTs die. And now Budgie Smuggler is unable... Sorry, Raebz used his terrible idea. He's unable to make any more units, so it's pretty much exactly what they have right now. Oh, and now Lethal is doing the worst thing you can do as a Terran versus the Protoss. It will make the Protoss rage. You lift your buildings and float them away. He doesn't bother to kill the rest of this right now. Instead, going to go kill these probes. Makes sense. Slow the economy down. You can't build more stuff. If he ran the probes away earlier, he could of course be building stuff around the map. But Lethal does not know that this base is here, and it is defended by 4 cannons. That is probably not enough to stop this entire army. Now going to go back up into the main, finish off, I assume, all these production structures. Meanwhile, Raebz is in a bit of trouble. His army right now is superior to that of Lethal's, though. We have Lethal with another base over here. Could be morphing that to an orbital, or yeah, an orbital right now because he lost the engineering base. He needs to be throwing down some production structures, landing them now up here. So Lethal, it looks like, is in the best position right now because he can make more units and Raebz cannot. Interesting lifting there into the medevacs. Not entirely sure why. I'd have cleared up that base at the very least. But obviously he knows his opponent's not been revealed, so he needs to find that other nexus. Unfortunately the nexus is up here and the medevacs are here. We do have one DT at this base though that is going to just be the most annoying thing in the world. It will kill those two SCVs. You can lift the command center there, that doesn't really matter. Interesting, we have a warp prism here so we can warp more units, but he has nothing to warp in because he has no supply. So right now, Raebz is kind of dithering with this army. He needs to get into a good position, he needs to find Lethal, and he needs to do it fast because Lethal is building more units, and the more units Lethal builds, the further ahead he's going to end up getting. Like I said before, Raebz right now has the best army, but he can't make anything. He needs those pylons to finish. He should be making a ton of pylons at the moment, as we see here. 3 more going down here. So once he gets that back up, he's got all these warp gates. That's a lot of warp gates. He's still got sadly an unpowered Dark Shrine and an unpowered Twilight Council and Templar Archives. But if you could sneak a probe back over there, that would definitely do a bit of damage. Interesting choice, getting the eBay up again. That'll be missile turrets to help with the Dark Templar. But a big engagement now. Raebz has found Lethal's army, and now it looks like Raebz will have the advantage. Nice Sonic Storms. Oh, forcing the player into the Stalkers. And down goes everything. Lethal, GG's. Raebz takes the game. Raebz is our 3 AM SC Forum winner. That was certainly fun. I love a good base race, mate. And Lethal in the end just kind of dithered a bit too much. He really needed to get into a position where he could defend that base or find Raebz and destroy him. Instead what he did was he kind of floated about the map, he kind of half killed a few bases and never really figured out where Raebz was and therefore died. Anyway, that was a real fun game. Thanks to Raebz for sending it to me. I will be back tomorrow with Game 2 of FXO Oz versus EG Idra, so that should be really fun. I'm now going to check and make sure this recorded properly. I really hope it has. So I'm hoping I can give you the high quality that you've been asking for. More announcements on that and in other veins on the way very, very shortly. So I'd just like to take this moment to thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all again tomorrow.